Hello everyone, this is Dr. Vara Lakshmi and I am going to be discussing with you the continuation part of type 2 exercises in these directions, and here some twisted questions will be asked and how they are all asking and how to solve them, and all we'll have the discussion and study the following information carefully to answer these type of questions. Already in the previous videos and all, we had the discussion about the directions signs and the basics related to that one. Let us have a quick revision of what is the direction sense and what are the elements of that one, so that it will help you for the understanding of these further problems which are solved in this particular video. So as we have discussed that one in a tilted Z format, if we have taken, so the upside part is called as the north and the downside part is called as the south, whereas in the right side part is called as the east and the left side part is called as the west. So if we have taken this plus symbol, this is the north direction and below is the south direction, and as well as this is the east direction, and this is called as the west direction. In between this south and east will be called as the southeast direction. In between this west and south will be called as the southwest direction. In between this northwest will be called as the northwest direction. In between this north and east will be called as the northeast direction. And from any of these directions to an opposite direction, if they have to move either in this clockwise direction or in this anti-clockwise direction, that person has to move 180 degrees. That is the basics element. And if any person has to move from his place to another adjacent direction, and that person has to move 90 degrees. So this is for any adjacent directions has to move 90 degrees. And if that person has to move to this subdivision, subways, that is subdirections, the 90 half is 45 degrees. If any person has started from one place and if he has to comes to that same place after turning around, and he has to turn for the opposite 180, and from there again if he has to turn to this one, it is 360 degrees. The person has to move 360 degrees. So generally, like a clock, if that person is moves to this right side and to the right side and right turn and the right turn from the north side, then we can call it as the clockwise direction. If that person is moves in the left side direction, and we can call it as the anti-clockwise direction. So this is the basics related to this direction sense, as well as the already we have known what are all the main directions: north, south, east, west, and the sub directions and the degrees along with them under all. And while solving these problems, generally if we have to arrange them in a sequence manner, we must have their facing information. If they, unless and until knowing about their facing information, we can't take them into the consideration. If they have turned left means, unless and until their direction knows, we can't find, because if they are in the north direction if they are facing, and if they have turned left means they will goes to the east. For example, if they are facing the south direction, if they have turned left means they will move to the west direction. So that's way, unless and until knowing the facing of that person in that particular problem, we can't find the solutions for such kind of the problems. So this is one more basics information of that one. And again, from the north, generally we have to learn again one more thing is left, north. From the north, if he is turns to the left means he will goes in this west direction. he will go to the west direction. And from this north in the right direction, if that person is moving, means he goes to this east direction. And from the east, if it is the left, he will goes to the north. And from the east right direction means he goes to the south. And from the south, he goes to this right means he goes to the west. And from the south, if it is a left, means he goes to the east. And from the west, right means above to that one north position he goes, west means below to that position he goes to this south direction. So while learning itself, we have to be very thorough that one. If from west to the right means north, from west to the left means south, and from south to the west means he has to take the right turn, and from west to the north means he has to take again the right turn, from north to the east means he has to take the right turn, and from to the east to the left turn means he will goes to the north. Like this, that information should be on our fingertips, and it should be recorded in our mind that where in which directions we are all moving under all, and how many degrees we are going to be turning, and from adjacent to another adjacent, either it is a clockwise direction or an anti-clockwise direction. Unless and until this information is recorded in our minds, we can't do this such kind of the problems. Will stop, or if we have to do that kind of problems means it will take more time for us. So that's why practice as many problems as possible by having this direction sense. So let us have this practice problems over to this one. So this is another way we can call it as type 3 problems, but anyhow it is somehow related to this one, whatever it is, but these kind of questions are also very important one. A vehicle starts from point P. So that is point P, a vehicle is a start and runs 10 kilometers towards the north direction. So P is here, and from this one it has started 10 kilometers towards the north direction. Now the vehicle is at north direction. It takes a right turn and runs 15 kilometers. Right turn means the second turn is towards the east one, and it has run 15 kilometers. It now runs 6 kilometers after taking a left turn. So from this east direction, left turn means it is towards the north direction, and it has turned, it has moved 6 kilometers. It finally takes a left turn. So from the north, left means towards the west side it has to move, and 15 kilometers it has to it has stopped at 15 kilometers means it is almost the parallel to this line, and now it is in this west direction. At the stop at the Q point it has stopped with 15 kilometers. And now if we have drawn this parallel line to this one up to the 6 kilometers, and Q to P it is 16 kilometers. Let us see the questions what they will ask for us. How far is point Q with respect to point P is already we have seen it is 16 kilometers from point Q to R, and towards which direction was the vehicle moving before it stopped at point Q. So we have seen already that before the stopping of the point Q, the vehicle was moving towards this west direction. So this one, so now the end at the point Q, the vehicle was moving towards that west direction. So this kind of questions, they are all similar to this type 1 as well as this type 2 also, but a narration type of elements will be given in this kind of questions. And the next one, as a continuation part for this 11, 12, 10 and 11 type of questions, we'll start with this 12th and 13th type of questions. Study the following informations to answer the given questions. Point P is 9 meters towards the east of point Q, where point R is 5 meters towards the south of point P, and point S is 3 meters towards the west of point R, and point T is 5 meters towards the north of point S, whereas the point V is 7 meters towards the south of point S. Same, point P is 9 meters towards the east of Q. We should not forget this one. So Q is here to this east side of Q at 9 meters. Point P is located, whereas point R is 5 meters towards the south of P. So P is south at 5 meters. The point point R is located, and point S is 3 meters towards the west of R. To thus R's west point of view, thus S is located at 3 meters. So immediately we have to convert these into 6 meters as well as 3 meters. And point S, after that point S, point T is 5 meters towards the north of S. So this is the T's location, because in parallel to this one, 5 meters are all there. From S to T, it is 5 meters. It is on the similar line. And point V is 7 meters towards the south of point S. So S south point at 7 meters, point V is located. So this is the solutions we have drawn and the positions of this each and every person in this given problem. Let us see the questions what they will ask for us. If a person walks in a straight line for 8 meters towards the west from point R, which of the following points would he crosses first? So from R, 8 meters towards the west side he has to move. R, so west side 8 meters means at 3 meters distance he is going to be cross S. So the first person he will cross is S. And the 13th question, which of the following points are in a straight line means PQ, PRV, STQ, PTV, VTR and SVT. So let us see this one in a straight line. Who are there means, first of all, Q, T, P are there. At the same time, T, S, V are also there. And at the same time, P, R is also there. In this one, any of these combinations is correct. So as per this one, SVT they have given to us in these options. So the answer is SVT. The others are not in a straight line basis. I hope all of you have clear with these ones. So let us see this 14 to 15 for this one. For more understanding, better understanding of that one, further any kind of this questions similarly. In the same way, let us have the discussion about the 14 to 15 questions. Study the following information and answer the given questions. Point F is 10 meters to the south of E, whereas point G is 3 meters to the east of F, and point H is 5 meters to the south of G, and point I is 6 meters to the west of H, and point J is 10 meters to the north of I, and point K is 6 meters to the east of J, and point L is 5 meters to the north of K. This is information provided for us. So if we have seen point F is 10 meters to the south of E means E is here and E is south position at 10 meters. Point F is located and point G is 3 meters to the east of F. So F is here at 3 meters distance. Point G is located and point H is 5 meters to the south of G. So G is here at G's 5 meters position. H is there. And point I is 6 meters to the west of H. So H to this I, it is 6 meters. But we can make clear of 6 meters into 3 meters. We can divide the 6 meters into 3 meters and 3 meters. and I is here. Point J is 10 meters to the north of I. So J is 10 meters to the north of I. So from here we have to take, and parallel to up to F it is 5 meters. And it is 10 meters means above to that one it is 5 meters and 5 meters, a total of 10 meters. So at J is at 10 meters to the north of I. And point K is 6 meters to the east of J. So J is here at 6 meters. Okay. So at 6 meters to this one means up to this one 3 meters. Up to this one it is 6 meters. So above also we can change this east position. Up to here it is 5 meters. Up to here it is 5 meters. From J, K is 6 meters to the east of J means, so J, here it is parallelly 3 meters and here it is 3 meters. And here it is located this person called K. K is 6 meters to the east of J. And point L is 5 meters to the north of K. So K is here and to the north of his positions means parallel to E, and L will becomes 5 meters. Now from this one, 14th question, if we have seen, which of the following represents the direction of point G with respect to point J? So means, so G's position with respect to point J means, so from J we will draw a plus symbol and G's position is at southeast direction, or from G it is means northwest direction. So but the question is about the from point J, G's positions means, so it is at southeast direction. So the southeast direction from the given options is correct. And the 15th question, if we have seen, how far and in which direction is point E from point K? So E to K, we need to calculate the direction as well as this distance. E is here, K is here. If we have seen this, if we have draw a line between E and K, we could come to know this, a right angle triangle between E and K. So this is a 90 degrees between these two axes, so that the distance between the Pythagoras, as per the Pythagoras theorem, the E to K distance is square root of 5 square plus 3 square. That is square root of 25 plus 9. That is square root of 34. And that to E to K. So from E to K, if we have seen, E to K, the direction is southeast direction from E to K, and from K it is northwest direction. So based on that question's answers, we have to answer, based on the question we need to answer from how far in which direction is point E from point K means, so from point K he is at the square root of 34 meters, and that too from K, E is at northwest direction. But if the question is from E to K means the distance might be same, but the E to K it is at southeast direction. This is a way to answer this kind of questions, but while drawing and everything, we must be very careful while splitting of these distances between one point to another point, immediately converting the above points into this segmentations. Everything is very important for us. And for this one, the last questions we'll have the discussion is Rakhi starts from point Q and moves 25 meters southwards. Then she turns left and moves 30 meters. Then she turns right and moves 15 meters to reach the point P. What is the distance of P from Q and which direction is she facing with respect to point Q? Here, Rakhi starts from point Q. So she has started from point Q and moves 25 meters towards southwards. She has moved 25 meters towards the southwards. Then she turns left. So south directions to the left means east. So from here she moves in the east direction. She has moved 30 meters. Second movement. Then she turns right. So from the east to the north, if she has to move, she has to turn left. But she has to move, she has turned right means in the south direction. South direction. 15 meters. 15 meters to reach the point P. Now the question is, what is the distance of P from Q? So from P to Q, if we have draw a line between P and Q, this is the line. So if we have fulfilled this with this parallel lines, we have found a right angle triangle between the Q and P. So the Q and P means one distance of this y-axis is, this axis is 25 and parallel to this one it is 15 meters and parallel to this line it is 30 meters. So this total length is 25 plus 15, that is 40 meters. 40 meters. Now if we apply the Pythagoras theorem between the Q and P, so the distance between the QP is equals to square root of 40 square plus 30 square. $50 meters, and 50 meters anyhow we have found, but it is there in many of that one. And also which direction is she facing with respect to point Q they have given to us. So with respect to the point Q means from Q we have to draw this plus symbol, and P is at, it is between south and east means southeast direction. So now P to Q, the distance is 50 meters, and from Q, P is at southeast direction. From P, Q is at northwest direction. So this is the way to answer such kind of questions, but this is not easy like what we have listened now. After practicing alone with all the similar kind of the problems, then only we can better understanding of that one. Thank you everyone.
Like, share and subscribe. Hit the bell icon for more updates.